Hey everyone, welcome to the spoiler discussion of the movie Logan, where I will talk about some spoilery details of the movie. And Logan is dead! Oh my god! Oh my god, Logan is dead! Fuck, man, fuck. Fucking shit, man! Oh shit! And Professor X dies as well. Oh god! Oh Jesus Christ! Oh fuck! Man, this fake crying is killing me. I may get AIDS from this. Anyway, fuck. Shit. This is an example of also worthy acting right here. And you know what? Professor X is supposed to die in X-Men 3. Yeah, fucking Fox timeline. So, Logan, Professor X, they're dead. And I almost felt bad I didn't cry when that happened. Maybe because the execution is not that perfect. So the moments of their death were not really kicks in the guts for me. But I did feel sad. I know people expect more epic and grand finale for both characters, but instead Professor X was just stabbed, and Wolverine got impaled by a branch of a tree. But I do feel like it wants to reflect the grittiness and you know the realism of this war, of the war where this movie says in, and in this war heroes don't die in a flashy way. They die like normal human, and sometimes even worse than normal human. There's one thing that is comforting though, is that Logan and Professor X, they die after having a taste of happiness. They have lived a long life of pain and suffering, and at the end Professor X has the best night of his life, being a part of a normal family, and Logan finally hears someone calling him daddy. So I believe the theme of the movie is a pursuit of happiness. And the fact that both the main characters die after a short-lived moment of joy really makes this movie tragical. And did I mention that Professor X killed all the original X-Men with, by accident with his brain power? Fucking hell, man. X-23, I did say in the previous video that I love her. I love how she portrays the character. Not many child can be that badass, you know. The scene when Logan encounters the Reaverers for the very first time. The soldiers go inside the warehouse to capture her, and then X-23, she just sits there and watching them on the camera and eating cereal at the same time, and her eyes moving slowly, and it's just expecting them to come. It's one of the most badass scenes I have ever seen in an X-Men movie, and probably superhero movies in general. That at that moment I know X-23 is gonna be a freaking killing machine. Like father, like daughter, am I right? And her scream is freaking terrifying, like because she does not talk for most part of the movie, so she kinda uses her scream to express her emotion and her feeling, like an animal actually. So when she's captured or Professor X dies, I can really taste the pain and horror in her scream. And but when she's not in beast mode, she becomes really childish and cute, like right on the fucking rodeo or something. Incredible acting. If there's an Oscar for kid, I will give it to her without hesitation. I did wish that she stays silent throughout the whole movie and only utters the word daddy to Logan at the very end. If that was the case, I would probably tears up, but before that scene she spoke a bunch of Spanish and English. And I did wish that they spend more time exploring the relationship between her and Logan, so that when she called Logan daddy, the moment is earned. But in order to do that, they really need to kill Professor X way earlier in the movie, in order to save space for character development and relationship development, in order to let Logan have an affection for her. But instead, till the very end, Logan still tries to push people away, still tries to push her away. So when Logan dies and then Laura suddenly becomes soft and cries and all, it feels a little bit forced. I mentioned in the previous video that some emotional scenes are ruined by excessive cursing. For example, in the scene where Logan buried Professor X, he tears up and then Laura holds his hands, and I thought Logan is gonna say something emotional about their relationship between him and Professor X, or the long journey that they have together, and I thought it was gonna break my heart, but instead, what did he say? Fuck. He said fuck, everyone. He said fuck this or something like that, and then goes on a mental breakdown and smashes the car until he passes out. And so, like, I was sitting in the theater and I felt like the audience didn't know how to feel. Like, are we supposed to laugh? Because seeing Logan smashes the car is pretty hilarious, but he just buried Professor X, for fuck's sake. So we're supposed to cry, right? So something like that. So I'm not sure whether the movie tries to stay away from emotional cliche, or it's just some dead end in writing, like the writer doesn't know what to write for that scene. I also want to mention about the video, the clip that Logan watches on the phone belonging to the Spanish woman, Spanish nurse. The clip of children being artificially mutated is horrifying, it's sad, it's just disturbing and disgusting. I am totally disgusted at those human scums, and it reminds me of Bolivia Trask, very hard to pronounce. Bolivia Trask in Days of Future Past, the person who conducted inhumane experimentation on mutants, and it was very well done clip. It's a bonus point for the movie. I think it's better than lots of found footage movie out there. The standout action sequence I mentioned in the previous video is the hotel scene. I think a lot of people agree, the hotel scene where everything freezes because Professor X lets out an kind of an outburst shockwave or something like that from his brain, and seeing Wolverine crawl towards an enemy and slowly, brutally kills them is really intense and it's incredibly satisfying. So I can't wait to see that again when Blu-rays comes out. There are a lot of this movie has a lot of rewatching value, I have to say. People say that it's overlong. Now I did agree that the movie is dragging a little bit and it could have been shorter and better, but I don't want it to be. I did say that the movie feels a little bit repetitive. It's mostly about running and hiding, and then the enemies fighting out about the hiding places, and then fighting occurs, and then more running and hiding. But I can watch it all day. You know, I can watch that all day. I don't want the movie to end because I love the characters, and even Caliban is a wonderful surprise. I didn't know anything about the character really. I thought he was the villain before. Like, I watched the trailer, I thought he was the villain. I thought he was going to help the Reavers to, you know, to track mutants, because his power is tracking mutants, and he did in the movie, but he was on the good side at the beginning, and I think the character is touching, yeah, really. So it's a wonderful surprise. Caliban, I love all the characters in the movie really, except the villains, of course, but I love all the characters, all the X-Men, the good X-Men in the movie. Some people complain about the villains, the weak villains. I think you need to understand the purpose of the movie. If the movie wants to focus on the heroes, then the villains are only need to be there to serve the story, and I think that is the case for a lot of Marvel movies. So I don't think there's a problem with villains. In this movie, this is the last outing of Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart, so it makes sense to focus on them, focus on the heroes. There's some discussion about the Wolverine clone being the final boss. Some like it, some don't. I am fine with it. I was shocked, really. I was shocked a little bit. Like, there are so many Wolverine-ish people in this movie. There are X-23 and now X-24. What's next? X-Videos? I think it has some kind of meaning behind it, like Logan fighting a younger and stronger version of himself. It's like kind of like fighting his past, so maybe it's a way to forget the past and move on. I don't know. I hope the director can provide a better explanation. I love watching or hearing. I love listening to director's commentary. By the way, I listened to the director's commentary in Civil War movie and like Guardians of the Galaxy movie and other movies as well. So I downloaded the the director's commentary and listen to them. It's very useful if you want to know more about the filmmaking process, or you want to know more about the movie through the filmmaking perspective, and then you understand how hard it is to write a movie like Civil War. It's incredibly hard, and it involves a lot of thinking process. So yeah, I think that's all I want to say about Logan. I'm not sure whether I missed anything. If I missed anything, please raise it in the comment section. The movie is not perfect. Yes, it has flaws. Some people say it's a masterpiece, and the only movie that can be compared to The Dark Knight. I don't think it is a masterpiece. But I do think it's massively entertaining, is incredibly heart-wrenching, and it shows respect to the characters. So I think that's enough. Really, it doesn't have to be a masterpiece, and you have to watch it. Yeah, you have to watch it. So thank you for watching, and I see you again. Is gone.